He didn't like the car. He liked Ford trucks. So you can see him.
Okay, folks, it's 7 o'clock. If you'll stand, we'll pledge, pray, and get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Let's pray. Gracious God in heaven, hallowed be your name. We thank you, Lord, for this day you've given us, for the abundance you bestow upon our lives, for this community. We ask, Lord, to bless us with wisdom. Lead us, guide us, direct us. Forgive us of our shortcomings, I pray, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome everyone to the Village of South Point Council meeting on Tuesday, August the 4th, 2026. Could we have roll call, please?
Mr. Classing?
Here.
Mrs. Daniel? Here. Mrs. Chapman?
Here.
Mr. Payne?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. McCoy?
You should have had a chance to review the minutes of the regular meeting held July the 7th, 2026. Could we have a motion to approve? Mr. Classing? Mr. Austin?
Mr. Classing made a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held July 7th, 2026. Mr. Austin seconded. Roll call. Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
And Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Same with the special meeting held July 20th, 26. Could I have a motion to approve those? Mr. Austin, Mr. Classing.
Mr. Austin made a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting held July 20th, 2026. Mr. Classing seconded. Roll call. Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
And Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Could I have a motion to approve the payment of the invoices for the month? Mr. Classing. Mr. Payne.
Mr. Classing made a motion to approve the payment of invoices. Mr. Payne seconded. Roll call. Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Now it's time we typically open the meeting up to the public. If there's someone that would like to speak with council, please step up. Is the podium there?
Yeah.
Okay, public. Tell us who you are and where you live.
My name is Caitlin Gallimore. I live at 113 Robert Street. I've prepared packets for all of our esteemed council members to review. Please take them down and pass them around.
Seriously, what's about the rest of us?
She said she had them all.
Seriously. She says esteemed council, and I said, what about the rest of us?
Shame on you.
There's a son.
Shame on you.
Thank you all for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you all this evening. I'm here today to talk about the closure of my small cottage food business farm stand, Kindred Roots. And I'm here to share what I believe is an opportunity, not only for me, but for the future of responsible small businesses throughout our village. What many people don't realize is that Kindred Roots is not a commercial bakery. It is an Ohio cottage food operation, meaning every loaf of bread, every cookie, every scone, and every dessert is baked in my home kitchen in accordance with Ohio cottage food law and regulations. I'm currently open just one day each week, Saturdays, and my goal has never been to become a large commercial bakery. My goal has always been much simpler, to share handcrafted food with my neighbors and create something that brings our community together. Like many families, ours is juggling a lot. My husband, Michael, is currently deployed to the Middle East, serving our country. While he's away, I'm home raising our twin boys, caring for our family, working full-time as a graphic designer, and working to build this small business on the side, one loaf at a time. Kindred Roots has become more than a side hustle business for me. It's become a way to cope with my husband being gone while he's serving our country, and to support my family while serving my community. Before opening, I worked with village leadership, primarily Mayor Gaskin, because I wanted to do everything the right way. When it was later discovered through an anonymous complaint that the zoning ordinance 12.07 prohibited my accessory structure from being used in connection with my home occupation, I immediately complied. I closed the farm stand, I didn't argue, I didn't ignore the ordinance. Because I respect this village and the responsibility you all have to hold its laws. I also understand that my sign will need to be brought into compliance. I fully intend to address that. As I mentioned earlier, my husband installed it before deploying overseas, and I simply need a little time and assistance to safely remove it. As I researched the ordinance, I realized something. The issue really isn't about my bread. It's about whether our zoning ordinance reflects the kind of home-based businesses that exist today. Ohio recognizes cottage food operations. South Point currently does not. On the village website, South Point states its commitment to responsible growth, infrastructure improvement, and providing reliable services that support residents, local businesses, and visitors alike. I believe that Kindred Roots reflects that vision, not just because it's my business, but because it's an example of exactly the kind of thoughtful, community-focused entrepreneurship that helps small towns like ours to thrive. And I'm not the only one. There are several other cottage food businesses operating in and around South Point today, including 1 micro and home bakery, 2 farm stands, and 3 cake pop carts. Additional farm stands have been cropping up throughout the tri-state and larger community. My hope is that none of them find themselves in this same position days, weeks, months, or even years from now. This proposal isn't about creating an exception for Kindred Roots. It's about creating clarity for every resident who dreams of starting something small. The packet before you outlines a practical, narrowly tailored amendment that would modernize the one section of the aforementioned ordinance while preserving the character of our neighborhoods that we love. It contains a proposed amendment specifically to Section 11, C2E. It currently states, no accessory building or space outside of the principal building shall be used for such purposes. My suggested revision would be no accessory building or space outside of the principal building should be used for such purposes, except that residents operating a lawful Ohio cottage food operation may utilize one accessory structure for the pickup or sale of products produced on the premises, subject to regulations governing size, signage, parking, hours of operations, lighting, and traffic impacts. I respectfully ask each of you to review it carefully. I believe that you'll find that it balances responsible growth with responsible regulation. The packet before you also contains several letters, 17 at its current state, providing voices from our community, and I'm happy to provide additional letters upon request. One of those letters I would like to read to you now. This letter is from my husband, Michael, who cannot be here to speak out for himself. To whom it may concern, my name is Michael Gallimore, and my wife is the owner of Kindred Roots. I'm currently on active duty orders in the Middle East. Prior to being placed on active duty orders, I wanted to support my wife and her vision for the farm stand. By helping her make the outside and inside of the Kindred Roots building, we put in time and talent into the farm stand because we want to create a small veteran-owned and woman-owned business in the village we have both grown to love and call home. We appreciate your time to reconsider the zoning ordinance. Thank you. Respectfully, Sergeant Michael Gallimore. When I built Kindred Roots, I wasn't trying to compete with anyone. In fact, I actively support our local bakeries and fellow cottage food businesses. I follow them, I recommend them, I celebrate their successes. Because I truly believe there is room in South Point for all of us to succeed together. Communities become stronger when local businesses lift another up, rather than compete for limited opportunities. I'd like to leave you with one final thought this evening. Kindred Roots began with flour, water, and a simple idea, but over the past few months, I realized it has become something much larger. It's become neighbors stopping to visit one another, children picking out cookies through the window, families gathering around for home-cooked meals and fresh bread, trust built in our community through an honor system stand, and a reminder that even the smallest businesses can strengthen the fabric of a community. Tonight, I'm not asking you to make an exception for me. I'm asking you to consider a thoughtful update that will allow South Point to continue supporting responsible growth, local entrepreneurship, and the values already reflected in the village's own vision. Together, we have an opportunity to create a path forward, not just for Kindred Roots, but for future home-based businesses that want to invest in this community the way that I have. I respectfully ask for your support. Thank you for your time, your service to our village, and your thoughtful consideration.
I will say, early on, she said she spoke with Mr. Gaston, yes, and I forgot about Section E that says no accessory spaces. We were at her corner, and I told her, I said, I think if you would keep it back off of the village right away, it would be all right. So that part was on me. I didn't know, I forgot about Section E. And I was also the one that had to go shut you down a few weeks later. So I took it on the nose for forgetting that. It's tough to have to go shut someone down. Okay, council. Looks like she has a proposed amendment. She has some things to think about, some things for you to do. Any thoughts from you?
I love your courage for coming in here and speaking with us. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
It takes a lot to come in here and talk to us, so I appreciate that. And you're very, very pleasant. So yeah, I love that too.
Thank you. I try to be.
If you're going to do it, this is something that we would want done, obviously, and we're going to talk later in the agenda about going through the codification process.
And it would be much easier if we were already codified.
It would be much easier if we were codified, but you may want to go ahead, if you're going to do it. What we don't want is this done in the middle of that process, after the stuff's already gone to them.
Okay.
So either, I don't know what time frame, they're talking like 9 months or so, I think. So it'll take them a while to get
9 to 12.
through
I think.
that, but, certainly that you'd want to include it if you're going to modify it.
That's what I'm on. I was thinking of other things that if we go by the letter of the ordinance, possibly a stand selling Girl Scout cookies. There was a vegetable stand out front here for 2 weeks, 3 old men having a good time selling tomatoes, and some of the most wonderful cantaloupe that my wife's ever had. Yesterday, there was a lemonade stand down the street. If we're going to follow, that's an auxiliary space.
The children
What?
weren't commercial though.
No.
Well, commercial there, but it's a,
It was just children.
and then there was a cake pop cooler.
She's all the way down in
Somewhere.
Burlington.
That was across.
There are 3 of them. There's one
Really?
down here by the Giraffe. There are 2 in Burlington.
This is all commercial space though. This one right here and that way right there is all commercial space. That's all commercial roads,
What I'm trying to propose is going to benefit.
residential areas.
It will benefit the whole. I mean, the simplest solution would be just to rezone my house because I'm currently setting between 2 commercial zones. But that would be selfish of me to go that route. The route I'm trying to consider is taking into consideration other small local businesses that want to have the same opportunities.
Right. When I went to open mine 3 years ago, Mayor Gaskin knew the law and gave me this piece of paper and told me that I could not open my stuff. So I had to get a commercial building. I had to do it the right way because he told me absolutely not, that I was not to sell anything out of my home. So when he put me on the planning commission, I'm over top of the zoning and all that stuff that goes on in the village. So when I was addressed with the issue that he was there, I just simply told them to give you this. I didn't say anything else. I said, just give her this, let her know the law, and let her know the rules of the situation, and that was it. That was all. I did not have a clue that Mayor Gaskin had already told you could actually do that at your house. So I was upset because he had actually told you that you could do all this, and I'm sure it was money. I'm sure you spent tons of money on it. I was brokenhearted. I literally wanted you to come down to my shop. I almost came to your house and told you to come down to my shop and help out or do whatever you wanted on my lot because I was disappointed in this. So I'm willing to listen to anything that they've got to say, but if you open up zoning for one, you open it for everybody, then anybody can have a business beside anybody's home, and that's the problem in this place, is that a lot of people don't want that beside their house. They don't want more traffic, they don't want all that stuff.
And that's why I tried to put parameters
Right,
in
right.
what I have suggested. That way,
Right.
that would be regulated.
And that's
And
awesome.
all of the village council would have the power to say what those rules and regulations should be.
Right.
That way, there are safeguards and protections put into place
Right.
to protect our communities the way that they are, while still empowering small, responsible businesses to be able to proceed.
This Ohio cottage food, is there some kind of application or something you get for that?
No,
It's just by the way you do it.
Yep.
Yes.
It's defined.
Yeah, there are strict rules and regulations that you have to follow in order to maintain a cottage food business. You're only allowed to use certain ingredients. You can't use fresh fruits and things that need to be fermented. I primarily specialize in sourdough products, so everything that I do, I follow everything to the T. You have to have very specific labeling systems for all of the things that you produce in your home kitchen, and all of that is very strictly regulated.
If we look back at the history, I remember when Ted asked for a barber shop to be put on Washington Street, and this council told him absolutely not. So he went out and bought him in the commercial area. He bought him a building and had his barber shop. And then the lady that was the quilter, she had to
She had to do it too,
yeah,
yes.
she had to move out of a residential area to the commercial. She sold her house, moved the whole business.
I think probably then council did not look at the ordinance for, I think probably it says crafts, dressmaking, things like that. So those two, I don't know about haircuts. I don't know about,
I was here when Susie Burke got moved. We looked at the ordinance.
She told me about
Your
it.
dad,
So-
your dad had to go tell her,
Yep.
this is why it violates the ordinance.
okay, okay.
But I'm in a room right now with
Yes.
the people that have the decision-making power.
Yes.
The people that can make these changes. In your vision statement, on your website, front page, when you land there, it talks about how we want to be helpful and encourage businesses to be here in South Point. So why do we not do something to make that happen?
Counselor, do we have the ability to regulate these with a permit?
Do you have the ability to regulate it how?
Let's say, for example, we modified this ordinance and accepted this proposal. But as far as being able to control it into the future with anomaly conditions that's been mentioned here, would we have the ability to control the anomaly with a permit?
They would still have to abide by whatever zoning ordinances you do.
Yes, I'm saying,
But as far as, I don't understand, if you're saying to issue the permit, can you add additional regulations?
let's say, for
it?
example, somebody wants to start a junkyard with a tent in their front yard.
Sure.
Example, Chuck.
Just an example.
Sure.
Okay, so I would think it'd be prudent. I mean, that example right there, if you looked hard enough, would comply with what's being said here.
No, so as I understand the proposal, it's just changing the accessory building use, not the purposes. So it would still have to be a customary home occupation
Okay.
to fall into
Okay.
this.
Could we not regulate that with a permit for anomaly conditions? That maybe was on the fringe here, something that we didn't feel, that we did not feel was lining up, that was appropriate, or whatever that example might be.
I think it's going to be much more difficult to do it through a permitting process. Most permits for businesses, typically at the municipal level, are done just so that you can maintain a registry of them and do a basic inspection. But if you start getting into the actual regulatory aspect of it, I don't think you're going to be able to do it solely through permitting. I mean, you're going to have to adopt some type of legislation, setting forth what those regulations are.
Okay, let me back up. Do you feel that the wordage here is strong enough for us without a permit to be able to regulate what we don't want happening?
So you're talking about her suggested
Yes.
revision and a proposed amendment?
Yeah.
So the exception here would solely be for those operating an Ohio cottage food operation.
That's it.
That's it. So no other,
No
Nothing.
junkyards.
no, well, not just junkyards, no other, no dressmaking or any of the other listed things would be able to utilize an accessory accessory building. It would solely be the Ohio cottage food under this proposal.
Two little girls selling lemonade to make extra money under a tent.
Here, the question is that a business? Yeah, technically. Good luck getting a conviction if they got cited. I'd prefer to be on the defense on that case than on the prosecution. But,
Or the,
technically,
or the old boys selling tomatoes and cantaloupe.
if they're selling, those types of things from in a residential area, technically, that would violate the zoning ordinance. So, yeah.
There would be a lot would have to change in this, because I mean, actually, I have really looked over this just because I'm a bakery owner. And I wanted to do this at first, or I wouldn't have got the building, period. But it also says that you can deliver, but there's no pickup either at your house. You have to actually deliver the food, and you have to actually deliver. They can't stop
So
by
she
to
could
get
still-
it. So all of this would have
do
to
her
be
baking.
literally changed.
She'll just have to deliver it.
Yeah.
She could continue her
Yeah,
business.
she could
but-
continue, like, we ain't stopping you doing business at all. It's just a matter of us figuring out how to deal with this now.
You just have to deliver it.
Yeah, yeah,
Instead of the traffic of her
Yeah.
coming to her.
because there's a lot that would have to change in this.
I mean, I think currently she could do it from her kitchen. Now, again, I'm not speaking as to the cottage food laws, but under your zoning ordinance, yeah, she could sell them straight out of her kitchen, and people could come there, get them, pick them up.
No, because it says no more traffic at your house.
Yeah, that would
either.
increase
I mean, there's a
traffic.
lot of stuff in this that I've read.
Well,
that-
the increase of
So
traffic.
on that regard, would
Right.
people not be able to come visit my house, like my grandparents
It's,
couldn't
no,
come?
no, no, I'm just
Because that's the
saying
amount
what
of
it says in
traffic that
here.
we're talking about
Yeah.
here.
I'm just telling what it says in here.
Commercial traffic.
Just commercial traffic is what
It
it says.
says
It
reasonable,
just says commercial
Yeah.
traffic.
reasonable traffic.
The use shall not generate pedestrian or vehicular traffic beyond that reasonable or normal
Right.
to a residential
Right.
district. So
Right.
if it was years ago, they had Colbrook shut down because everybody's lined up to get
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I remember that.
milkshakes.
I remember.
Yeah, that would be,
I remember.
obviously, something like that. If they
Right.
were lining up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
going
mean,
through.
this isn't a slider
But-
situation. I'm not blocking
Yeah.
half the,
The highway and everything else.
yeah, exactly.
If it was favor of council that we revisit this, do you think you could come up with appropriate language?
Sure, I'd want to work with you have a zoning committee or planning
Planning
committee.
committee.
Yeah, I'd want to work obviously with them and through them to get what their thoughts are and plan. One of the things with zoning, and you're correct, is when you said, hey, you didn't want to change it just for you, zoning is for entire
Everybody,
areas
yeah.
to do it. And so, yeah, I could certainly work with them, that's not a problem to.
Yeah, because if you look at Roberts Street, there's an apartment complex and a garage, and I have a map in case you want to look at that to see. So let me grab the map real quick. So if we're looking, right here is Roberts Street. There's an apartment complex directly behind my property and directly in front of my property. And the one in front of my property also has a garage that services vehicles. So I'm literally about 30 feet from a commercially zoned area. I mean, that would be the quickest solution. But again, that feels selfish to me because it's only helping me. It's not helping other small businesses. And what I'm trying to advocate for is putting together some best practices to encourage all of these other local small vendors that are popping up, like the cake pop stands, like our smaller farm stands. I want to encourage that because that's bolstering and supporting our local community. And it's giving our villagers a better solution for food. Like you're getting homemade things, which is significantly better than going 5 minutes down the road to the Walmart. So I'm trying to encourage and foster and bolster our local economy in a way that is fair and equitable.
I'm right on board with you, because this would help me tremendously. I can get rid of that building up there and I don't have commercial fees, I won't have rates, that would be astronomical for me. If I could have done this 3 years ago, I would have totally done this. So this would actually benefit me also. So, I mean, truth be told, it would be. So I applaud you for it.
Mayor's suggestion. So would it be prudent, maybe just do a poll around the table to see if we proceed forward with this? If we I think
we need some think time, I really do. I think we need to think about this.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Are
it's
we
gonna
gonna proceed
affect
forward with
the
it?
entire village. It's gonna affect the house beside of yours, maybe the house beside of yours, you
What
know.
happened beside mine?
Well, I don't know where you live. Where do you live?
Example only.
What's wrong with the house beside me?
It's burnt.
Don't move next to me, you'll find out what happens to your house.
I mean, it will affect the whole village. You're opening up a Pandora's box.
Sure. Well, I mean, if,
For food places.
sometimes people ask for a variance, and we are always hesitant on a variance, because a variance always opens a can of worms. So, and that's one thing we don't want to do tonight, or in the future, is open up a can of worms and have something on every corner.
And that's something that I'm actively trying to avoid. I'm not trying to say, oh, make an exception just for me. I'm trying to advocate for the greater South Point community.
Put you on the spot, can you have something by next month?
The question would be, what do you all want? I can produce it and put it in the legal form.
Right.
But, you know, it'd be what you all need to tell me what you want.
We have a planning commission, and we have a zoning committee.
This would be the zoning committee that would be addressing it. You're dealing with the zoning, you know, affecting and amending the zoning law.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's Mr. Austin and Mrs. Daniel. Okay. So, do you want to, well, yes, we could have it by next month. I'm sure that's,
Should we have a little work session? Yeah. So we can thoroughly discuss this?
I'm in favor of thoroughly pursuing it if we possibly can. I just say I'm in favor of doing that, looking into it. It's
Looking into
not a no for me, it's trying to figure something out.
Looking
here,
into it,
if
yes.
possible. So, and I'll do whatever we need to do to expedite that.
Okay. And I can meet, like I said, with you all to
Okay.
do that.
We'll do that then, Chuck, since
Okay.
we're on the zoning.
I'm okay. Good enough?
good
Yeah,
for now?
in the interim, if I may ask, would it be a fair question to ask if I could have like an exemption to be able to still sell out, a temporary exemption just to sell until we get a decision made? If not, that's totally fine. I did figure it would hurt to ask.
If we let it for one, we're gonna have to let it for all, so.
All
That
food-
means you
all
can-
Food. Yeah, all
That mean-
food, so,
Yep,
Grant temporary.
that's right, yeah.
yeah.
So, what were you saying? A temporary exemption for
Well,
now?
if we're just talking about the food cottage industry,
Okay.
if we're talking about food,
Before I vote, I want a sample. Have you got anything in your purse or anything?
I can run home.
not the
I still have some scum.
Enforce it.
Just
They cannot legislatively grant an exemption.
Okay.
We just had a legal opinion?
Yeah, I don't, legislatively, I don't believe you can grant an exemption to say, hey, it was, you know, we're not gonna do this. I think your executive branch can suspend enforcement of it, you know, for that period of time, but I don't think legislatively you can just grant an exemption.
until the rest, until we resolve this,
Yeah.
what we're gonna do.
So,
Council's pleasure.
So the ordinance needs to stand
Yep.
until Chuck and I will have a special meeting and we'll really dig deep into it and discuss it.
Okay?
And she gets an exemption until.
No, he
No.
said no.
Well,
Now,
you-
the
you
ordinance
Well, that's not,
stands.
that's not wrong,
I
Todd.
said the ordinance
He said
stands.
She said the ordinance stands.
The ordinance stands.
Council not to enforce it on-
Pay attention, he said that
they can't tell you.
the mayor, the executive branch, could issue the exemption until that time.
You can
Well, he
use,
asked for what the opinion was, and I gave it to him.
Will we be ready by next month?
Yes.
I will not enforce it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
All right, is there anyone else like to speak to council? All right, moving right along. Old business, is there any miscellaneous old business?
Yes, I have
Yes, ma'am.
something. The credit card policy, it came up last month that, first we didn't have one and then Lori found one, but me looking at it, according to the law, I think we need to revise it and make sure it's in accordance with the law. So who's working on that?
I didn't know that there was a problem. What's wrong, where are we not in compliance?
Well, one, the law mentions that a compliance officer oversees it. It's not the fiscal officer, it's a compliance.
Another committee? Okay, go ahead.
No, it's another person. It's a person.
Okay.
And it can't be a card holder, and it can't be the fiscal officer. It's just someone that is assigned to oversee what the credit card's being used for. And then we didn't really set a limit. That policy does not set a limit. Those are the two big things that jumped out. There's other things too, but.
What would you suggest we do from here, going forward?
Well, can the Finance Committee look at it and revise it and get it in compliance with the law? Or Lori and Mark?
Council's pleasure.
We could. Lori and I talked about some of the things that we would need to change, so.
Could a
I don't think.
finance person, somebody on the finance committee, be the person that,
It could be.
Compliance officer.
the compliance officer?
Good.
I'll let the finance committee come up with the compliance officer. Kindred Roots, change your sign. Get that sign down. That's also in violation.
She
Somebody.
just said that she would do it when her husband got back in. She can't
Do
take
it.
it down now.
Somebody can take that
We'll
sign
come
down.
over and help you.
Yeah, somebody will come over here.
Somebody can take
Somebody
that
will.
sign down,
Yeah.
please. Okay.
You want to fix, add what we need to.
Yeah, you're in charge of that. David, I appoint David as the
No, I mean,
compliance officer.
You and I can sit down and kind
No,
of.
you're chair. You can't do it because you're chair, so I'm appointing you in absentia.
What I'm asking is, can you and I sit down and fix this for next month?
I just fixed it.
By next month?
No, the
Yes, we
additions
can.
that we need.
We'll take care of it.
Okay. All right.
She's mentioned some things.
Is there anything else on the miscellaneous? Okay. The trash bid. We looked at it, and then there were still some things different. You have another one in hands tonight that I think should be okay. One of the most important things was cleanup days was not addressed in the other contract. They talked about a 16 or whatever yard, which one was it? A 16-yard dumpster. Well, that's for party in the park. So section 16 talks about cleanup days. Extra truck with the crew. That's usually what's been happening. One extra truck with one extra crew during our biannual cleanup days. And there was some thought about only one container, a 96-gallon container, but it really didn't read that way. I think when we drive around the village, you'll find that there are more than more than one container. I can come out, take my trash out, look down my street, and there's a container and several bags, or two containers. So anyway, there's not limit to one container. There is a section that says if you have a lot, you can contract with the contractor on your own. We can do this. We can put this out for bid again tomorrow. Those are the only two changes.
Did we ever get bids on the last
We
one?
we canceled the bid. We did not. I did not want. I checked with Mark for a while. I did not want to open bids and look like we were looking and then do it again. We haven't seen a bid. We refused them. Did we get any in-house? We didn't even get any in-house. Yeah. So we haven't seen a bid. I don't want it to look like anything's going on.
We never had a list of stipulations the first time that we put this together as far as this detail goes, correct?
Yeah, it's been a chore. We've been working on this for 4 months. You guys have had it at home, we've had it here. It's, it's been every time you look at it, it seems like you can find some little thing wrong with it. I hope that whoever gets the bid would be a little bit amenable to change. It's not like a union contract, I hope. So we shall see.
I would suggest qualifications when they submit the bid. If there's something in here that, some anomaly condition that they feel merits careful consideration or whatever, that they would divulge that in clarification. If there is something if we've overlooked or that, I'm sure there will be.
We will open the bids, what day was that? September 1st, that's before the next council meeting. Open the bids and let council see them before we award it. There's another one, which one is it? It says reserve, number 8, village council reserves the right to reject any or all bids, to accept any bid deemed to be in the best interest of the village and to waive any irregularities. So it does not have to be the lowest bid.
Everything's in here you want?
We'll stop that one. So yes.
Make a motion, we advertise the bids for a period of August 5th.
Put it out for bid tomorrow. Due back in,
August 28th.
well, yeah, August 29th it says. Yeah,
Oh,
August
is it in here?
28th.
28th.
Okay.
Okay, August 28th, we'll open the bids here in public. Typically, bidders are here. I mean, when we open other bids here at the village, the bidders are here. I would assume the bidders might be here to open bids. I would want to be if I was a bidder. So, and of course, council's welcome to show up to bid anyway. Okay, we will. You want to you said you make a motion?
I second it.
Okay. We'll put that for bid tomorrow.
Do we need a vote?
Yeah, call roll for a vote.
Yes.
Yes, call roll for a vote.
Mr. Classing made a motion to put the bid out for the garbage collection. Mrs. Daniel seconded. Roll call, Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Okay, next is our codified ordinances. We have a proposal before you to codify our ordinances. You know, we've heard for the last 2 or 3 months, if we want to find things, if we want to make changes, the way to do it is to codify. You will notice, what page is it? $13,995, $14,000 to codify. And it will codify from 78 to 26. I would hope that would get, that's 40 years or more, 43 years. I would hope that would get anything into that. We probably have some ordinances that are older than that, but do you want to go back and get those? We may be able to selectively go back, if we find some of the older ones, selectively go back. So, $14,000, paid by the general
Mark, how
fund.
does that work if, say there's a 1975 ordinance that we do not codify, but if we adopt the codification, that these are all the good codification, that null and
That's
voids
correct.
everything else?
Yes, yeah, typically there's, in your enabling legislation, it would, anything that would be in conflict with those codified ones would be eliminated. I don't think that they typically put that they're repealing any and all other ordinances. So as long as it did not conflict with anything, because when you adopt these codified ones, understand it's not just ours. There's typically like a model code that's integrated into this. well. And so as long as it didn't, conflict with that, it'd still technically be good law. But if, you all weren't aware of it and it's 75 years old, it will be an interesting one to be utilized 75 years later.
Well, the only garbage ordinance that we have is 1977, so that's a good reason for us to do it.
We just missed it, we're back 78. huh?
So that would be one, obviously, we would want to include, as we do this.
Or just write a new one.
Or we could just do the new one, however, yep, we can certainly do that as well.
We've never found the burn ordinance.
So,
Yeah, maybe this time we'll find it.
There's one out there.
There's one out there, I know, I've read it, because I measured mine.
So there's 14,000 lump, 1,300 annual.
that annual is a maintenance fee. All that is to put it up on there. What they do is they didn't have it, you could link it through from here.
We
from
can
your
link it on a
website.
laptop right here if we want.
But you could pull it up immediately,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And it's basically data hosting going forward on the annual.
Well, here, this 700 pages, where did they get that number from?
This is,
If we miss it by 100 pages, it's $2,500 extra.
Yeah, so typically, that should do it. That should be plenty for codified ordinances.
It's not an ordinance per page.
Yeah.
So it would take a lot of,
Well,
More than
no,
one
so
ordinance per page.
this is them printing it, so what they're doing, it just goes continuous. Now, they probably have it, I'm sure they'll do it in sections. They'll have the criminal code, they'll have the, whatever, the zoning code will be separate. All those things are divided into sections, and then within it, they'll have the various codified ordinances.
You feel that 700 pages is pretty accurate?
I would say, I can't fathom it being more than that for you all. Even when you factor in the things that would be added through adoption of kind of the model code, so, yeah.
Okay. One motion?
we'll need a motion, you have to do it,
I make a motion, we go forward with this.
okay?
A
Mrs.
second.
Daniel, Mrs. Daniel, Mr. Austin.
Mrs. Daniel made a motion to accept the proposal for the codification services from American Legal Publishing. Mr. Austin seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Moving into new business, first any miscellaneous new business? Hearing none. Resolution 2611, a resolution accepting an insurance settlement payment from Erie Insurance Company for property damage loss, authorizing the execution of a release of claims. This is the cemetery fence. The damage to the cemetery fence totaled $10,171.84. They want a release of claims. We already have the check. Check is deposited. And we've started the process of building the new fence. When we talked with the insurance company, we told them this is not a fence that you go down to Lowe's and buy. This is all made by hand. So we've already started that process.
Do we need the three reading rule suspended?
Yeah, I'll need 3 reading rules suspended just for authorizing the execution of a release. Mr. Classing? Mrs. Chapman?
Mr. Classing made a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule on Resolution 2611, a resolution accepting an insurance settlement payment from Erie Insurance Company for property damage loss and authorizing the execution of a release of claims. Mrs. Chapman seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt 2611. Mr. Classy? Mr. Austin?
Mr. Classing made a motion to adopt Resolution 2611. Mr. Austin seconded it. Roll call, Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
And Mr. Classing?
Question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way we can recoup our money from some source for this?
I don't understand what you mean. Recoup our money.
Yeah, this, sometime in the future, this is gonna cost us insurance-wise. Is there any way for us to?
It's not our
This is not
insurance.
our insurance.
He's paying every bit of this. on
Yeah,
us.
good. Yes.
And $5,000 labor.
I'm good. Moving on.
Yeah.
There's roughly $5,000 for the fence and roughly $5,000 for labor. So yes. Resolution 2612, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract agreement with Diversified Technology LLC for information technology services. It has been a year since we made the big step for Diversified Technology. I'm going to turn it over to Tom and let Tom explain things. You have some paperwork in front of you.
Good evening, council and mayor and administrative officials of the village of South Point, Ohio, and our guests who live here and work here. My name is Thomas Goodman. I'm with Diversified Technology. We have formally for the last year provided information technology services and chief information officer services. Prior to that, we served the village for 3 years outside of the contract with no compliance services. We were initially contracted to enter the village's systems into compliance with criminal justice information standards, as well as payment processing standards for financial services. We have executed that mission well and faithfully for the last year. All systems are currently under that umbrella. It is working well. We work day to day with the frontline employees at the village if they need help, support, or information. Part of that process is that we also offer guidance and information on in public policy regarding information, security, and other sensitive matters that may affect information services, both at the police department, village hall, and the water systems. What we are asking to renew is a 2-year term providing the same level of service that is 24/7 monitoring of all systems. That is a somewhat automated system that will let us know outside of business hours if there is anomaly. A human being will look at that and decide if it is something that needs action or not. That includes software patching, antivirus services, ransomware protection on all village and police department systems, cloud backup for all files, emails, and documents, disaster recovery services, continued criminal justice and OLEG compliance documentation, audit support, and risk assessments. And we continue to provide our contractually obligated response times of 1 hour during business hours with a 24/7 on-call agent for emergencies. We are asking for additional coverage in this term. In our first term, we found 6 workstations that were not covered in the initial contract. We found those about 6 months ago, and we have just been covering that so that the village will be in compliance. We had to add a firewall licensing fee for a piece of equipment at the police department to bring it into federal information protective standards for cryptography. And we are asking for a modest increase to the annual documentation fee to keep pace with the compliance and reporting workload. Quite frankly, it just took me longer to do than we had put in the first year. We are very active day to day in the village in what we monitor. All systems get a full check weekly, backups get tested monthly, and quarterly we provide a report to the mayor and the administrative team on what is going on. I encourage you councilors, please, 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 I'm not an ivory tower, we are not opaque. If there are things that you would like to know about the security posture or other non-public information that we touch, call me. I would love to meet with you, I would love to talk with you, and I would like to make sure that you are as informed as you wish to be about those operations in the city. A big victory for us in the last year is that we filed for and we are awaiting approval on a state and local grant program that is jointly administered by the federal government and the state of Ohio to increase cybersecurity operations in small towns and villages. It is a thing that has become a priority for the state of Ohio with passage of laws in the last 12 months that govern how villages are supposed to approach that. We filed for this grant to help us patch gaps and make sure that the program is financially solvent moving into the future. One of the things that we really enjoy and appreciate about our partnership with the village is that there is an overall focus on infrastructure across the village. And it's not just in technology systems, what you're doing with water and sewer, what you're doing with sidewalks, what you're doing to get the village ready for the future is something that we see, we acknowledge, and we are cognizant of. And we take that role very seriously in the IT side of it as well. We want the technology backbone to keep pace with the other systems that are coming online for the future. And so I would like to give you some ideas that we would like to pursue for the next 2 years as a global goal. These are all just planning ideas. Anything that comes outside of the scope that we've done in the last year has come before this body. You guys deliberate it, you guys look at it, we let you know the cost and the value, and it is ultimately your leisure and approval. Our 3 big priorities for the next 24 months is to build a streamlined, centralized employee portal for the Village of South Point's employees. Many of you who are in business probably have something similar get through Microsoft SharePoint. What it is a secured portal that holds documentation for the employees that's generally HR related. If you need to check things that are in that segment, that's what that portal does. It takes some administrative responsibility off of people in this building, automates it to a degree, and allows users to have self-service. That is a secured internal only portal. It is purely an administrative move, and it's something that we've identified in the last 12 months that can bring value and save time for village officials. We would like to consider a physical security modernization push. There are CCTV on all of the village campus buildings throughout. The major ones is Water Plant Community Center, Old Police Department, Village Hall. All of these systems are starting to age, and they're starting to show their age. We would like to consider upgrades to those systems. A big driver in that is camera access. We would like to make sure that employees who have access to these systems, everything is auditable, logged, we know who's looking at what, when they're looking at it, and how long they looked at it. We believe that stronger accountability and access control to these systems bolsters everybody, helps make sure that whatever information may be out there is transparent, and is just a good idea. The last one, and arguably the most important, is a campus network modernization push. Currently, there are bandwidth issues at sensitive buildings in the Village of South Point. And what that means is that there's just not enough transfer coming in and out of some of these buildings to fully allow the robust operation of day-to-day. It's become a pinch point. It's something that we've been working on for several months, trying to find a replacement. We've engaged with some of the providers in this area off and on over the last 9 months to find what the best value is for the village. That's something that just as a company we do for all of our clients. It's important for us to turn your IT into an asset, into something that's not just a check that you're writing every month. So after we got stonewalled by our preferred provider, I decided it was time to contact a professional. And I would like to introduce an associate of mine who's with me.
If we could hang on just one second, let's finish up on your part
Yes,
before we move into Lee's part.
Sure.
Council, I will say that if you're on page, I don't know, the last page, total contract value of 2 years exceeds our bid limit. We cannot do anything over $78,000 without bidding. I might suggest a 1 year with a 1 year renewal option. How does that work, Mark?
You can do that.
We can do that.
If they agree to the.
We can't award a $93,000 contract without bid. We can award a $78,000 contract. So if we would do this for 1 year, I would assume half of 93, roughly half of 93, with a 1-year option to renew. That's the only way we could do a 2-year contract.
Certainly. Our primary mission is continuity of services with the village. We've spent the last year getting everybody in this, and, you know, we want to protect your interest as well as ours. That's why we asked for the 2 years, but I am happy, if that's what works best for you, to work within those constraints.
Okay. All right, council?
Question. So is this year 2 of our current contract with you, or year 1?
This is the end of year 1.
End of year 1. So when we kicked this off, we paid you a start fee, and that was what?
That was equipment upgrades at this facility and the police department. It covered the first year's VCIO services, and it covered the licensing for the initial round of Microsoft licenses.
What was that amount?
That amount was $2,500 for VCIO. The install fee for the equipment was approximately $7,000. I have that information on my laptop, and I can double check it if you would like.
So you're saying it's around $10,000 as far as the kickoff fee on this originally?
Correct.
This is a huge increase, Mayor.
Is it a huge increase? What was, compared to last year, talk about that?
It is approximately 38%.
Yeah.
What is driving that increase is 6 PCs that were not on the manifest.
What
Are they
six-
needed?
what
Is that a
six
need or is
PCs?
that a want?
That is a need. Those are 6 active devices. Those include laptops for the police department.
In the cruisers?
Correct. Correct. There are no redundant workstations currently in the fleet in the village of South Point.
So that makes up the 38%. Keep going. What else is driving this?
Well, okay, let me be specific on that. Of that, okay, there are 2 line items that we're asking for price increase on. One is $95 per device on those 6 units, and the other is $65 per month for the council .gov administrative email accesses that I know that we've discussed that in the future or in the past, but it kind of got lost in the weeds. There is a $500 upfront increase asking for the documentation and compliance fee. Our initial assessment for those services were that it would take approximately 20 hours yearly for us to cover that burden, and it's really been closer to 30. That's why we have asked for that, and we are asking for a $450 per year annual licensing fee for the firewall device in the police department. That is something that we did not expect, and we just took on the chin last time. We rolled that into our services. We did not know that we were going to have a very specific model that I can gladly provide you technical documentation on.
The $68, did we not approve that already? The $68 per council,
Not yet.
we didn't approve that? Okay.
That came about when we found out our emails can be
Yeah.
looked at, and I've got work emails and different things on my personal.
Yes.
Has its own privacy issues. Well, not patient privacy, just not that, just financial emails with vendors.
I mean, I'm happy if there's questions, we wish to be transparent. We don't want you to feel like the value is not present.
So basically, we've been paying you all one right now, but with this one, we're gonna put the 6 additional policemen's on, which is $570. The councilmen's, which are $390. increase of $500 on the VCIO fee, and then the $450 on the licensing firewall.
That is correct.
Okay. So that's about $2,000.
Were the 6 new PCs in the police department, were they purchased while this agreement was in place and you guys serviced them, or?
No, they were there, and we just didn't know about them. It was, hey, when are you guys coming to look at these? Oh, okay, and, you know, so we covered them. That's, you know, we didn't want to put you out of compliance.
Gotcha.
Our employees, Mrs. Jordan, are you having any issues? What do you think of this? You don't have to give it a up or down, but what's your thoughts? As someone that has to deal with him every day.
Good answer.
He's a big help.
Chief, I mean, do you have any,
I mean, I'll go into what I know the problems that we're having. He's talking about not receiving and outputting as much information, as much data as we receive. Primarily it's our body cams. That's correct. We're trying to send that up, download that information into a cloud. And currently the way it's doing with the provider we have is it takes weeks.
Say that's the one you said takes 2 weeks to
Yeah,
download it.
and the prosecutor's office does not like that. They want it now. And we have to, you know, depending on what your shift looks like, and you remember certain calls throughout the shift, and they want to tag it, and that's the way our system is set up. Well, you know, typically you would think you drop it in the charger, it's first to download. By the time you get all your paperwork done, you look over, oh, it's downloaded. Now I can go in and title what that video is. They have toggles that I can check to say, flag that account, don't overwrite it. That might be, you know, what will be called keeper, you know. That's going to be needed for court, and it won't go into the 90-day rotation of deletion. Well, we got court on Mondays and Fridays for the most part. Well, we get a case on Saturday, the officer sitting there at the end of his shift, he don't have time to wait there, hurry up and download. He leaves because he don't want to get overtime, so well, I'll get it tomorrow. Well, by the time he comes in the next day, he gets caught. So the next thing you know, it's forgotten, it's forgotten, it's forgotten. Well, Monday comes around, prosecutor's office is going to burst the video. So we got to go back, get it, and it's still downloading. So we have to tell them, well, hold on a minute, you know, hopefully it'll download. We'll go to the next Friday. Still hasn't downloaded. So it's taken that long. So it's an offloading problem that we've been having. And even along that way, we're getting corruption in it too, where it's going so slow, sometimes it just stops. It just won't, it just stopped downloading. So I know we spoke about fiber optic being brought into the office, and that would be a fix. That's going to allow that streaming ability to give us more information flow and data flow.
Correct, and that, you know, the reports that we prepared you to make you aware of and give you the information that you need, that is at least part of what is covered by the documentation fee, because this is an ongoing issue. You know, our process when they report something of that nature to us is you know, we immediately look at our past reports and then begin to compare and track that down. So what we were able to narrow that down to is there's just simply not enough bandwidth from the provider's pole coming into the building to meet the needs. And we've discussed this for months with the provider, and their price is unreasonable. It's unpalatable. They're looking for close to $1,000 per location per month with an installation fee, and that's not acceptable. We're not going to do that. We're looking for alternate routes to get the service that the police department needs. And I hate to make this plea, our diligence comes from that we care about your village. I mean, at the end of the day, this is something that we consider, we're stewards of your information. That's what we do. These systems and this data is going to exist long after we hand it to somebody else, to make sure that it's where it needs to be, to make sure that the program is continuing to be executed internally in the way that is compliant and filling out the human risk management training that is also provided in this service. That's important to us because we want you to be successful. We want your people to be successful, and we want to continue to be a part of the infrastructure building that is happening in the village of South Point.
Council?
Man, I'd like Sheriff's Department, how long does it take theirs to download? Just for comparison, Sheriff's Department, Highway Patrol, Ashland, how long should it take? How's that? How long should it take?
Take 5
It
minutes.
should take 20 to 30 minutes maximum.
I mean, it should be quick. It should be no week.
Well-
I know that much. You know, it should be before you're into your shift. I mean, if I'm coming in 30 minutes before the end of the shift, doing all the paperwork, getting it squared away, I drop it in the socket to do its download. It should be ready by the time I get ready to leave. So I can go back in, fill that out. Now, it got so bad to the point to where I just suspended the usage of body cam, because we were running around with body cams that everyone was assuming were on. And we didn't want to get into a situation where people were saying, well, they had body cam, and assuming that it was on, when you know as well as I do, if they come in and want to FOIA that, and I give them the old classic, well, it didn't download, that's not going to be taken very well. So for now, until the issue is rectified, I've just suspended the usage on it right now. So only other option is to go back to eliminate cloud, to eliminate that side of it. But when we do that, you start getting into an area of secure storage of the videos on site.
Just for comparison, we didn't add any new computers at work. Ours went up close to 20%. The people we go with, NIS. We're adding, basically, you said you took a lot of it on the chin. You had 6 computers that you just did because we were doing it. I don't know what it would have been before, but if it's even half of that, it's in line with the 20% we saw increase. And it was just the same type of thing. We had to pay for extra firewalls and licensing fees and whatnot. Those are the things that ate us out.
In Thomas's defense, I think the laptops was an oversight in the very initial bidding. That was for the cruisers. Now, those all carry the CGIS requirement because they all have leads and NCIC critical information that are fed through them. So that's definitely can be covered under that umbrella.
Well, and again, my primary mission is risk and compliance auditing. You know, I mean, we provide day-to-day IT service. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's an important part of it. But at the end of the day, you know, this entire conversation, you know, when this last year came about because the police department got notified that they weren't in compliance. You know, so that's our primary mission. That's what we want. That's where we want to be. You know, the cost that we are adding this year is not a profit increase. It's the very, very minimum that we can bring in order to bring it. Like there's no profit for us on the firewall licensing. We don't do that. You know, we broken down at one point the cost of the council email. You know, our company makes $10 a user on that. These aren't wide margin services. It's just what it takes us to provide the level of service that is required.
So we're looking at about $47,000 right there for 1 year.
Correct.
Knowing what we put up with, what we have to do at work, Lori's comfortable with them, the department heads are comfortable with them. I'd entertain a motion to go enter into a 1-year contract with again, to renew.
We're gonna option to renew that.
26, 27.
Is that acceptable to you, Tom?
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we'll have to bid it out.
You know, we can work within whatever constraints. We genuinely, we serve at the leisure of everyone at this table. We're here to serve you.
You'll make that a motion,
So
David?
but just one more
Sure.
thing, the 16 users that you have here, that's all the departments?
That's existing, correct?
Okay,
That's
that's like
let me
water and
rephrase that.
sewer and everybody?
Let me rephrase that. None of the water and sewer, we're still waiting on approval from the grant holders to make that coverage. That is not included in this package. What is covered in those 16 users are the users who are in this
This
immediate
building,
building.
okay.
The police department and Russ with his water plant PC and travel laptop.
Gotcha, okay.
And these are services that are required. Somebody's gonna have to provide them.
Correct.
Does it includes credit card policy, compliance policy? No, I mean, where we accept cards and some of them are kept on file. It's-
Correct. There's a specific compliance called PCI, and
Yeah.
it does, what we want is for it to just be easy. You guys get the report,
Right.
and everything is, all the boxes are ticked. And if there's not something that is compliant, we know about it before Lori does.
That's what I get every month, a nice little report that I just say, oh, okay.
And that's what we like. I mean, it's a communication, it's a communication business. Your life flows through these devices, and it's important, if it's, one, not working, right? If it's not working, we want to know. Two, if there's ways that we can be doing it better. I mean, really my vision and the reason we're asking for continuation is that, we're kind of in the middle or at the end of year one, which is the beginning point. So now we have the opportunity to refine these systems that are already in place and make them better. That's always our goal. Get it done correctly and then figure out ways to make it better and have an increased value.
And non-compliance isn't cheap.
Make sure that they change this before we can vote on it.
Well, Lori will make that,
Yeah, make it
adjustment.
1 year,
It's
43.
a 1 year,
Is it
section 2, 1 year with a 1 year renewal.
86.4 divided by 2,
It'll be 43,200.
already told you.
Without the additional computers.
Well, that covers all of it.
It covers
No,
all of
it's
it.
the contract. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as actually knowing that costs. He said there's computers that are there.
That's what this is right here. That's gonna be part of it.
That's everything? You're confident that everything that we have is in this bid?
Yes, I can say that with absolute certainty.
Yes.
There are no more IT surprises in this building. I can say that with
No,
confidence.
throughout the village.
Negative. This does not cover the entirety of the water plant.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So what do you anticipate that additional charge to be?
We filed the grant for about $9,000. I believe he has 6 additional users over there and will at some point in the near future require network upgrades at the water plant.
Which will be paid for by the water plant, by water.
That's something.
Didn't I just see a small town got hacked? Their water system got hacked?
And it's just something that like Russ and Lori and I have had active conversations about this through the last year because we're aware. It's just a question of waiting for, FEMA is the person that ultimately administers the cybersecurity grant that we applied for, and we're really just waiting on them. We don't know how long it's going to take, and we don't want to take steps in that direction until we know for sure if that funding match is in place.
Yes, that was, I make a motion, we enter into the contract. It's 43,200, is that correct? And then change that into 1 year on section 2
With the option to renew.
with the option to renew, yeah.
We'll rebid.
Well, so the motion would be to amend Resolution 2612, Section 2, to read $43,200 for an initial term of 1 year.
And suspend the three reading rules.
Suspend the
We'll have to
three
do
reading.
that after we amend it.
Yeah.
Amended first, okay. Need a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Classing made a motion to amend Resolution 2612, making the changes to 43,200 and for a term of 1 year with an option to renew. Mr. Payne seconded it. Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
And Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
We really need to keep this moving, but sir, you had something?
Who's the current networking provider? Is it Armstrong?
Unfortunately. Okay,
They're good for home.
moving along, we need a motion to
Suspend.
suspend the three reading rule. Okay, Mr. Classy? Mr. Payne?
Mr. Classing made a motion to suspend the three reading rule on Resolution 2612. Mr. Payne seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
And Mrs. Chapman?
Now we need a motion to adopt Resolution 2612, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract agreement with Diversified Technology LLC for information technology services.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. Mr. Payne? Mrs. Daniel?
Mr. Payne made a motion to adopt Resolution 2612. Mrs. Daniel seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
And Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
You have the transfers for the month, the motion to approve the...
He had something to go into.
Oh, that's right. I said, you have another, something else for us. I'm sorry.
Certainly. Thank you for your continued faith. Genuinely, it means the world to us. And as I was saying, we have negotiated with the provider. They want an astronomical amount of money. It's unreasonable, and so we decided to call a professional. And I put the mayor in touch with my associate, Dr. Lee Balaclaw, of a company called Schooley Mitchell. Schooley Mitchell is a cost reduction specialist. They specialize in telecom and other day-to-day services. They are absolute top performers in their franchise. They've staked their reputation on finding cost reductions for organizations and businesses across the country. I absolutely trust Lee. We have done business with him for years. And I hope that he will be able to find cost reduction for this village as well.
So he'll find cost reductions in your contract?
If he can, I'd like him.
We do audit vendors. If I may, I'd like to just
Yes.
say a couple of words. Mayor and council members, I'm Lee Balaclaw, Schooley Mitchell of Louisa. Schooley Mitchell is the largest franchise system of independent, objective, cost reduction and business optimization consultants in the United States and Canada. There are currently over 360 franchisees. We've been franchisees in the system for 13 years and are number 4 in seniority in the entire system. My personal background is that I'm a retired anesthesiologist. After 25 years in practice, I'd gone back to school, gotten my MBA, and was looking to go into business. Schooley Mitchell seemed like the right fit based on my ability to do consultative work, utilize my knowledge about technology, and my wife's background, who was formerly trained as a retail buyer by a major federated department store chain. Our client base has included a number of different cities, school districts, libraries, law firms, accounting firms, construction firms, HVAC firms, health departments, not-for-profits, restaurants, a pharmacy, and many others. We do 5 basic things. We do a lot of other things beyond that, but we look for errors and mistakes on bills. We find that about 90% of the time. We look for things that people don't want or need. For a hospital system, we found a circuit that was costing them $19,000 per month. It was buried in a non-itemized bill. That bill was actually $60,000 per month. We actually traced the endpoints. The circuit went to a fire department that ironically burned down in 2005. They were paying for that for 19 years, $19,000 a month. We found that. It took a lot of detective work to track that down because it was on an old AS400 computer system with a telephone vendor. Number 3, we have a national database of pricing so we can compare prices against that. Number 4, we oversee the implementation of anything that we recommend to clients that they have signed off on. If they don't sign off on it, obviously we don't implement. We see those implementations going sideways about 60% of the time, mostly on the billing side, sometimes on the technical side, and we're there to fix both. Number 5, we audit bills of our clients, every account, every month, line by line. I've been asked a number of times, how do we manage to have time to do that? We do. We make time. We just added another 17 accounts that we're going to be monitoring for a school district up in Massachusetts. We reduce costs and optimize services in telephone, internet, cell phone, and cell phone can include hotspots as well. Merchant services, waste, that includes dumpsters, shredding, medical waste. Other areas we optimize include small parcel shipping, less than truckload shipping, fuel cards, uniforms, office and facility supplies, industrial gases, and utilities for very large clients. We've done work for clients in 20 states at this point, and we've worked with over 90 different telecom companies, so it's a pretty big experiential base. For the city of Louisa, and this is on public record so I can talk about that, we saved them $80,000 over 3 years, including a $20,000 refund from their telephone company, and that was actually based on the fact that they had circuits, again, to nowhere. They had circuits, hardwired circuits for their water tanks and water pumps, and we found through the course of bill analysis that they actually had a wireless system in place, and nobody had ever canceled the hardwired circuits. So we actually were able to get that $20,000 refund from the telephone company. Our largest savings for a single client for our franchise alone was $1.1 million for a hospital system down south. We have, for them, we've obtained a refund of $236,000, which is our franchise record so far for refunds. We work on a 50% share of savings that we derive for our clients over a 3-year period. If we don't find any savings for clients, then there is no fee for our work. Our agreement spells out that our clients are not to duplicate our work once we are engaged. Our agreement also spells out that if we show our work product to clients, whether they implement that work that we showed to them or we implement it, we are still entitled to our share of savings since that is our intellectual property. We have found savings for 99% of our clients. We don't know what the amount will be, whether it's small or large, until we do the work. Typically, we find savings of 25 to 30%. For larger clients, it's often greater than that. We also find that 90% of our not-for-profit clients have at least one account, if not multiple accounts, improperly classified for tax. We get that account classified as tax exempt for future billing, but then we go back after tax refunds to the limit of what each state will allow. In order to do our work, we must have access to the online accounts to download bills each month, but also to gather the information that we need for within the online accounts so that we can do the work that we need to do to benefit our client. That is also a requirement of our franchisor for the work that our home office does. We do all of the telecom work. Our home office does all of the other cost categories. We problem solve for clients when they're having internet issues. We determine if the issue is related to the internet service provider or the internal network. If it's the service provider, we will make sure that they fix the problem, even if it requires multiple days. For some clients, we can provide enough savings to pay for upgrades in other areas. Even when we encounter clients that have dedicated staff looking at bills, they don't have our specialized expertise at looking at these bills, nor do they understand the technical terms involved. So we're acting as the bridge between technology and billing. If a vendor overbills our client, we will seek refunds for our client. That's part of our monthly monitoring process. And just in terms of our time, over the 3-year continuum of our service agreement, 70% of our time is spent from the time of service agreement to delivering a value report back to you. Once that value report is delivered, if you sign off on the recommendations we will make sure that that's implemented, and 15% of our time is, over that 3-year continuum, is spent doing that implementation work. The remaining 15% of our time over the 3-year continuum is spent doing monthly post audits. So we do audit those bills line by line. The other thing to understand, on a 3-year agreement, we may not start billing for 36 months of savings until 6 months or more after a service agreement is signed, because we're doing all the research work to get to a value report. Also because our services are not just a one-and-done phenomenon. If we find additional savings that we can implement 18 months in, we're going to present that to you, get an okay for that, and that would start a separate 36-month clock for billing just for that single line item of service. We bill for our share of savings as the savings are achieved, which makes our services affordable to smaller entities, and in essence means that we are self-funded. Many of our clients stay on with us for years, some of them for more than a decade. Some have been with us since the beginning, 13 years ago. They come for the savings and then they stay for the service. Thomas Goodman and I have done work on a number of different clients together. He thought, based on the discussions with the mayor, that I might provide some benefit to you, and that's why I'm here. And whether or not we go forward or not is completely up to you, but I'm available in case you are interested, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
That was awful long.
Sorry.
So you're telling us that you look for savings
Yes,
and you take half the savings
correct. For 3 years.
for 3 years?
Yep.
Okay. This is something, relatively new. I mean, it's just showed up tonight. Do we want to take a look at this? Is there something? Or tell Lee that, thanks for coming in? Is it something council is wanting to talk about at least?
Do you get into employee benefits as
No.
well?
It's one of the few areas we don't get into.
Trying to formulate a way to ask about health insurance.
That's what they call it.
Do you have a proposal, Lee?
I've got a service agreement here.
Okay.
I can leave that with you.
Leave that. Council have any questions? We can leave the service agreement. Of course, we'll get a contract signed tonight. Leave it with council. We can revisit it, make a copy of it for each council member, for something that you can peruse for next month, maybe. Anything else? Tom, Lee? That's it? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Also, counselors, just to put a heads up on you, I will reach out to you in the next couple of weeks to get everything started, to get your .gov set up, and I look forward to meeting with you one-on-one.
All right. You have your transfers for the month. We need a motion to approve a transfer of funds for the month of August 2026. Mr. Payne, Mr. Classen.
Mr. Payne made a motion to approve the transfer of funds for the month of August 2026. Mr. Classen seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Classen?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman? Yes. Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the clerk treasurer's financial report, the revenue expenditure account status report, and the bank reconciliation ending July 31st, 2026. Mr. Classen, Mr. Austin.
What is an other adjusting factor? Refresh my memory.
It's Aflac.
Overpayment on Aflac.
Does it? Oh, never mind. I don't get that on my report.
Mr. Classen made a motion to approve the clerk treasurer's financial report, revenue expenditure account status report, and the bank reconciliation ending July 31st, 2026. Mr. Austin seconded it. Roll call, Mr. Classen?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes, I have one question. Your appropriation status is as of 8/31. Are these amounts actually 7/31?
That's how the report printed out. It's put 8/31 on it whenever I went to it.
Okay,
It's gonna be the numbers for 7/31.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Are there any committee reports?
Yes, I have a committee report. The LEPC, Maria and Mark and I attended July 27th.
What committee is that?
LEPC, Lawrence Emergency
No,
Planning.
what committee is that?
What's your committee?
What's your committee?
Oh, it's the, it's the Emergency Planning Committee.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought you were asking me what LEPC stood for.
That's the next question.
Okay, so we attended that meeting. It was a great experience. I was glad to be back on it. They notified us that there's a new law, Joshua's Law,
So
that will go into
we'll
effect.
continue on into miscellaneous with that.
Oh, okay.
With that,
Okay.
no, I mean, there won't be any other committee reports, so go ahead.
Let me tell about Joshua's Law?
Yes, yes.
Okay. It's House Bill 359, and it was put in place when a little autistic boy drowned in a neighborhood lake in 2024. So this law will go, when you call and say autistic child missing, it will go into effect immediately. There's no wait time, like with the Amber Alert. It will go into effect immediately. When you say autistic child or developmental problem child, and here's what they look like, here's what they're wearing, it will go into effect immediately. So that's a great thing. September is when that will go live. So I have someone that wants to come and talk like 5 minutes at the next meeting, or maybe September. Is that okay?
Sure.
Just to awareness. And we'll probably have a flyer at that time too. And then Mark's going to participate in a hazmat exercise. And he opened up a real can of worms when he started talking about the hazmat truck and trailer can only be driven by a county employee. So you want to explain what that could bring?
The county hazmat truck?
Yeah, the county hazmat, you gotta be a county employee. If you're not a county employee, then you don't drive the hazmat truck, so nobody, yeah, I mean, you know, we got Matt, myself, Matt Jenkins, and Tommy Burchett, is on the hazmat team there, and anyway, nobody is a county employee, see. Nobody drives the truck. So we have an incident. So we're trying to, Mike Walter's working on that, we're trying to work something through, so. Hopefully we'll hear something here soon.
So if we have an incident, we can't get the county hazmat truck
Nope.
because no one can drive it?
Not unless a county employee will go get it for us and drive it for us.
Sounds like an insurance issue.
And who is it that's, yeah, it is
It's
insurance.
It's insurance, yeah.
Who's the two people that's working on it? Holiday and the county prosecutor is what he.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
working on it. But so far, they haven't come to a resolution with that.
No.
And then,
Is there a way that we could get a designated driver? I mean, could not Mike have a designated driver of some sort?
Has to be from the county.
Well, yeah, I mean, that'd be a county employee.
Yes,
But-
somebody to call.
I mean, you know, who's gonna be available is the
Right.
thing. You just never know, especially daytime.
Okay.
and then Mark and I, and Maria too, we found an application called Ask Rail, and he's got it, but he's got to get his background check first. And that's where he can go on that application and see the train that's going through South Point, exactly what's on it. So, you know, we'll know at all times. Because that's probably, if you do a risk assessment, that's probably one of the number one things that we're at risk for. And I remember a meeting in 25 where you said you would run.
And it probably wouldn't do me any good.
Dick Stevens' big fear was a low-flying FedEx plane after it took off. from Huntington.
There's
yeah.
5,000 gallon propane tanks over there too.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So, we can't, Marie and I wanted to give that application, but it has to be somebody that's certified in fire. And then I think that, Chief, are you gonna get it? The Ask Rail where you can, yeah, I gave it to him too, so.
cool.
So that was really exciting. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I mean, it just, signed up for it, it said it might be several weeks before you get approval, so.
I forgot department head, so you go ahead and go first since you're talking.
Okay. Had 16 calls for the month of July. Had 3 motor vehicle collisions. Structure fires, we had 1. It ended up being a heating unit. But we got there in time, we figured it out and knew what it was. Structure fires, Mutual was 3. Overdoses was 1. Unconscious 2. Cardiac arrest 2. Fire CO alarms 3, and gas leaks 1. We had the driver simulator down at our fire station there a couple weeks ago. We had fire school. The county's gonna start doing a lot of training and stuff, so I'm gonna take all I can down here to do everything down here for our for the people of Lawrence County. So that's all I got.
Chris?
Well, about a week ago, we had a prowler complaint, which was brought to me by one of our council members there on the west end of town. We've been receiving calls that in the wee morning hours, someone was being caught on ring camera here and there, walking around houses. Wasn't able to really get, well, now cameras are. They're not giving you the best of view, but we did get good views of the tattoos all over him. So we kind of had an idea of who it possibly was, but we couldn't put a name to it. Approximately about a week later, we received yet another call. But this person wasn't home, got contacted via their phone. Someone was on their ring camera. They called us, and one of our officers responded about 2 o'clock in the morning to that call. Looked in the area, tried to find the suspect. It went on into the next morning when that same morning changing of shift. Once it changed shift, we had deputies in the area. Got around 9 o'clock in the morning. Instead of meeting, that description came out from between houses and ran into the deputy. And the deputy went to make contact with him, and he was meeting all the descriptions of what we already had on video. This guy had been actively kind of prowling the whole area, and in some of the videos we saw him with items in his hand. No one ever reported anything stolen, but it was kind of blatantly obvious what he was doing. But we had not enough to file charges. But when the deputy went to approach him, just upon asking him his name, he bolted. So foot chase ensued. Suspect hit his head on a low-lying overhang of the house. Split his head wide open, knocked him out, and so he was apprehended. So at that point, Joe was out. Joe was able to finally get over to him. The sheriff's office went ahead and handled the report and made the arrest based upon his county warrants that he had. So any followed-up charges or anything like that, the sheriff's office will handle. But we did make a call log report on it. We had, from our last meeting, I mentioned to you, we had a drug raid that day. Well, since then, we had another drug operation we conducted throughout the month. So we was able to, we had numerous controlled buys and purchases of meth and fentanyl out of that residence, which we was able to shut that down with charges being filed and court appearances pending.
In the village?
No, yes. The only time we ever go out in the village goes into our collaborative with the Lawrence County Drug Task Force. We're all part of that. And then when they ask us to come out with the SWAT team or whatever, it's when they have an overload of locations that they can't with their limited amount of people. If they're hitting 3 or 4 locations, they need certified SWAT to hit certain locations. So they'll task us one, then they'll go to another, and so on. So, but we primarily, it's been our goal through Woodyard and through Hutchinson. They've all been advised. Those are my two that do most of the interdiction. I tell them, we keep it here in town. It's about being local. And that's what we push. And the prosecutor's office and drug task force know that. So a lot of the people we pick up, they do give us information of people that are outside the confines of our town. Now, we're not going to hold that in. I mean, we're going to extend that information out because it's for the better. But we always say, we're first. We put that down as a check mark. And they're very, very good about that. So that was one of these cases where they did put us forward on that. So we was able to close yet another one. And so that worked out well for us. Last night, we seized 158 grams of fentanyl from a traffic stop on the highway. That's approximately $30,000 to $35,000 worth of street value fentanyl. So a lot of fentanyl. That's coming out of Columbus, going to Huntington. From Huntington, as I've said before, that's the distribution area, goes out to smaller buyers, comes out, and that's how it gets to our towns. So, doesn't mean that we don't have heavy players here in town. We do, we know. We just don't have ends. We kind of sit around and play that blind hog and find an acre every now and then. So, but as for now, that's what we've been seeing. Out of Lexington or out of Columbus, that's your two major routes. And they think they can run 52 with impunity because we don't have a lot of presence out there. But we have been doing, and I give a lot of credit to Woodyard and Hutchinson. I mean, they got good noses for it. They can make good interdiction stops. And this is a perfect example of it. 158 grams of fentanyl, raw fentanyl off the street, that's always a good thing. So nothing in comparison to what we had last year where it was spread all over the street, and we had to pick up with snow shovels basically. But charges were filed in that, and they're awaiting pending court appearances. Me and Mark, we done a walkthrough at with management at the PAM Rehabilitation Center. We done it for the layout and the security assessment. In the event that we may have, it's the first building like that we have in town. All different compartments and things like that. They're giving us a full workup plan of the building. That's something I will probably be receiving by the end of the week. That gives us access to the building. They give us access to the building in the event that we do have anything from a hostage situation to anything else. We have a full laid out plan. Mark and myself and Woody have sat down and went over the plan. So it was a good sit down with management. We really went over that building, and it's very impressive what they did over there. So
When are they opening?
they now, from what he told me the other day, this is just happened to be information he told me. They've delayed opening now. It's probably going to be December because HVAC systems have some of their diverter systems and zoning has failed. So they had to have some new ones remanufactured, so it has slowed the opening date to December. We assist the DOT for a day on the highway with traffic control where they were out grinding down the highways. So we went out and assisted them with traffic control for a day. Another thing we had, which I forgot to write her name down, but I do have it written down on there, and I think this is going to be a situation where I'm probably going to come back to council next month, and I don't know if it's something we've ever done. I know we've never done it since I've been here, is give an accommodation to a resident of this town. And the incident was a mentally challenged and disabled child on Brubaker fell out of a window and was wandering around and wandered up onto the tracks. Well, officers were called, we were looking for the child. The child wandered up onto the tracks, a train was coming. And if it wasn't for the lady, the neighbor, and it was, the officer showed up right at the time when this happened. Officer Woodyard witnessed what happened. She got the child off the tracks just moments before the train struck the child. So, now, with that, we did make an arrest that night of the father. Now, prosecution declined to prosecute, but we did make an arrest. And so, doing our due diligence on that, at the point he was arrested, I think he understood exactly why we were doing it, because he was just no oversight of that child whatsoever. So, and leading up to that, it just shows how quick things can happen. But I would love to get something put together.
I think that's a great idea. She should be recognized.
Yeah, and I'd love to, possibly bring it before council, and present her with something. It's truly what we'd all expect out of neighbors.
Yeah.
So, irregardless, we could have cared less about, any kind of conviction on any charges or anything like that. That meant nothing to us. The child being safe meant more than anything. However, I think in this case, we need to show some recognition to them. And last but not least, I did tell you that citations have increased last month. We had over 200 citations written. So the court was
Busy.
a nightmare, to say the least. DL was not.
Maybe that's why DL gave me a dirty look when I saw him at the courthouse.
No, when he had to say, excuse me, walking through the line to come in, he was like, first thing he said to me, he said, changing things up. I said, no, you took vacation. That's not going to be a reflection of every court. However, he did take vacation, so that was a month of the collaboration. Where we normally have court every 2 weeks, we had them all smashed in there for 1 month. So, yes. But it did go off pretty smooth, and that's all I have.
Russ?
Okay. So, for the month of July, in our water department, we pumped 10,956,000 gallons for the month of July, for a total of 75,765,000 for the year. We had no water breaks. The sewer department treated 29 million gallons of sewage. While we're on the subject of water and sewer, I was asked to give an outline, the process of our billing for how we do water and sewer bills. So we have approximately 5,500 customers in our water and sewer department on our system. So, that's 5,500 plus bills that go out of here, whether it goes out by mail, whether it goes out by email, or whatever. There is approximately 5,500 customers. I've got a sheet of notes here. I'm just going to read from my notes, and that way I don't get out of line here. But at around the 24th, 25th of the month, we will start the process of reading meters and stuff. We have a tower read that we read probably 80 to 90% of them we do through Wi-Fi. The rest of them we have to go out and manually read them. We might have 30 to 50 that we have to manually read. So that data is brought in here through computer, and then the rest of it we go out and get, and we bring it back to the billing clerks. And the billing clerks, in the office, they print. And well, first of all, they'll process. They'll get all the bills, the totals on all the meter reads, and they'll see that, some of them, they just don't look right. So they'll have us go out and do a reread or something like that, just to make sure that it's as close as it can be before we send the bill out. So they'll get that printed. We try our very best to get those bills to the post office. The post office does not come here and pick it up. We take it to them in boxes so they can mail them out. Normally that's around the 30th to, if there's, 31 days in a month, it'll be it'll be before the 1st of the month, so they can get that mailed out. Once they got them, it's up to them. We don't know where it goes or how long it takes. So if you're not getting a bill to the 5th or the 10th of the month, which we have heard here lately that the bills, they're not making it there by the 1st or the 5th. They're late. So, and that's not because we didn't get it to them in time. It was there before the 1st of the month. Some people are paperless. I encourage as many people as they can is to go paperless. That means you'll get an email. A lot of your electric bills and your gas bills, I know mine at my house come email. We don't get a bill in the mail. So I do encourage people to try to get a paperless bill emailed to them. So your bill is due on the 1st of each month. Your bill is due when you get it. Of course, sometimes you might not get it till the 5th or 10th, but it's been a rule that you pay it by the 1st of the month. You have until the 15th until it's late. So after the 15th, you'll get a late fee on that, and then after 60 days, it will be shut off. As far as turn-off notices, we used to do door hangers. I have sent guys out. I've got 8 guys that work over there for me. 2 people have to stay in the sewer plant and the water plant to operate that, but everybody else will go out and they'll put door hangers on doorknobs. I have seen up to 200 door hangers, and I'll take 6 men and they'll be out there all day putting out door hangers, for people that are late on paying their bills. So we got away from that, and now what we do is if you're delinquent, we will send you, and this is the information that you provide us, whether it's a telephone number, a text message, or an email. The ladies in the office, they go through each and every one of them. If you're late or you're about ready to get it turned off, they will send you either an email, a text, or they'll call you. And before we disconnect it, which will be on the 16th, we do give notices that we will be there to shut it off. So it's not like you come home late that night. These guys work from 7:30 to 4, and you get home at 5 o'clock and your water's off. We did our due diligence to get a hold of you by email, by call, by text. It's whatever you provided us with to give you that information. This includes water and sewer customers. It's not just the water customers we have inside the village. We have about 1,400 residents in the village that receive water bills. The rest of it is outside the village, and it's sewer. And we still give them a notice of delinquency. If their sewer bill hasn't been paid, we will let them know that you're delinquent on your sewer bill. Now, after you don't pay your sewer bill within 4 to 5, 6 months at the most, we will give you a notice that we'll come out and we'll disconnect your sewer. We'll put a stop on it. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you said something to me.
They'll pay them.
Yeah. So, when we go out to turn your water off, we'll get the turn off delinquents that on the 16th. We'll come in that day after the 15th. The girls in the office will give us a list of how many need to be turned off. So we'll go out and we'll turn those off. And if you find out that before 4 o'clock that your water is off, you call the office, you pay your bill in full. We'll send the guys out. They'll go back out and they'll turn the water back on. There is a $50 charge to turn it back on.
No charge to turn it off.
No charge to turn it off, but we do charge $50. And if it's after hours, more than likely it'll be the next day, because these guys do not accept payments when they go out in the field. So if they come to your house, they're not allowed to take any. They're not bonded. They can't take cash, checks, credit card. They don't have the means to do anything with it if they could. So that is something that needs to be done through. You can go online and pay your bill, but like I said, you can go online the night of that your water's been turned off. Unless it is a dire emergency, we will send someone out to do it, but there's a $75 after-hour charge to go out and turn your water on. Most of the time, it does, just the next day, the people, whoever will come in and pay that water bill or sewer bill, and we'll go back out the next day and turn it back on. But we have had situations where we have had to go out in the night to turn the water back on, and like I said, there is a $75 charge for that. You know, this is the process that we've had for, I mean, I've been here 37 years, same thing we've done every year, or, you know, ever since I've been here, this is the process that we have used to turn water on and off and, you know, our billing. So if there's changes or something that the council prefers to make it better or whatever, I'm open to whatever, you know, the council wants to do if they want to change what we've been doing.
It's a good process.
Okay, thank you. Street department, brush pickup is going to be August the 24th through the 28th. 3 or 4 months ago, I talked to you all about grant money from the county engineer's office on repaving or getting in on the paving of Sand Road. That road will be paved next year for 2027. We had a 36% match on that. I think our cost on that was $30,000 to patch or to blacktop our portion of Sand Road. County engineer's office called me here a week ago and asked, did we want to get in on the 2028 grant for the same amount, 36% match. So my thought was, if we, and I'll have to let him know this tomorrow, because, you know, they call different municipality or different villages, different townships. They called us and asked if we wanted to get on that. We're not committed to it, we just get in on the grant, but you know, if we want to, my thoughts is maybe getting Solider Road paved and Park Avenue paved. And like I said, this won't be until 2028. I don't know what the estimate would be, because blacktop prices change, you know, with whatever the cost of fuel is. Whatever gasoline, oil prices are is what your pavement's going to cost. But I'm asking you now if you all want to get in on that 36% grant. That's like paying 1/3 of what the cost of a blacktop job would be. And Chuck, you know, blacktop streets are, you know, for 1,200 feet, quarter of a mile could cost you $100,000.
In 28, the sidewalks will be done. It'll be a good time to make it look nice after the sidewalks are finished on Solid Road and Park Avenue.
Need a motion.
I don't know, I just, you know, like I said, I mean,
No, because you're just going in on your.
Just an agreement that that's,
Contractually bound.
he can tell county engineer we want in on it. Objections? Okay.
that's all I have.
I've been this evening, Lawrence County mayors are asking Halloween, so I thought I'd ask that now.
Already?
This is September, October. I mean, we're,
90 days to Christmas?
yeah. Halloween is on a Saturday. When does council want to do some of the things county mayors are saying they don't want to do Friday because of ball games? So when does South Point, when would South Point like to do
It's
Halloween?
kind of laughing because this is usually the thing that gets people more fired up about it.
Oh, God, I was asked 3 months ago, when does Halloween? I'm just now bringing it to council.
When's the rest of them doing it?
Some of them are voting for Thursday. So, you know, that's, who is, I don't know, that's at Proctorville, says Thursday. Proctorville also said that they don't want to do it on Friday night because of football. I hadn't even thought of why not or whatever. Halloween's on Saturday.
I'm traditional. It's not good. I'd opt for the 31st.
I probably would too, say Saturday. Come on, council, this is important decision, this is important stuff. We're gonna have to
They,
make it.
they haven't caught the grief
We're
of
gonna have to make
Halloween
a
yet.
decision, yeah.
I agree with David, the 31st.
Just so you know, the 23rd is the last football game for South Point.
23rd is the last, so we could do
I
it
didn't
on
see you
Friday
over
night
there.
and miss the
I'm sorry?
football.
I didn't even see you over there.
Okay,
You wouldn't
so
start-
we don't have to worry about it. Council does not have to worry about a football game, so. Come on, council, I mean, these are, and you've made lots of important decisions
I would
tonight.
opt
Let's
for the
decide
31st,
Halloween.
But that's just. Chuck, when should Halloween, should trick or treat be?
I would opt for whatever night everybody else is.
Well, we've only got one that's not weighed in.
Do we have to decide tonight?
Hey, Mark,
Yes. Yes, I want to, this because I got inquiries 3 months ago. People are planning their Halloween parties. And it's important information to know.
Okay, Mark's gonna look and see when Ironton.
maybe 10/29, that'd be Thursday on Ironton, my daughter says.
Yeah, I don't know on theirs. I'll see if it's on their page. They usually do it on 31st, where that's Sunday.
31st, that's usually.
I don't think they'll do it on Sunday night.
It's a Saturday night.
31st.
It's Saturday.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, then
Ironton?
it will probably be that night.
Ironton is on Saturday nights, I believe.
Usually it's on the 31st.
You guys decided a $93,000 charge faster than this.
We leave the small stuff up to you.
This is the one that's gonna cause us the most grief.
That's true.
Could be.
Remember that year we were supposed to have all that rain and Ron didn't cancel it? He was catching grief, everybody was catching grief, and we didn't get all the bad weather until the day
Every
everybody
time,
scheduled
every
it.
cleanup,
Huh?
or every rummage sale, you know, we, why did you have it today? It's gonna rain, change it. Why did you have it? Some days it's hot, some days it's not. Some years it's hot, some years it's not.
Saturday to nothing, I know Saturday to the end.
Yeah.
31st.
Going once. Going twice, okay. Council decides on the 31st, Halloween. Saturday, that's Saturday night. Council decides. Hearing no objections. I was looking over.
6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30. I was looking over the fund status. 2905 opioid settlement for $4,780. We've been in contact with the school, and we had thought we were going to use a drug testing program with that, but we can't use it for that. We have to use a drug interdiction or drug education. The police department's going to work with the schools. So school's starting again. That's been in that fund for 2 years or 3 years.
We're still getting money into it.
And we still get a little bit at a time into it. So anyway, we'll start spending that money, I hope this year at the school.
I think we'll get it through 2035 if my
Yeah.
CE memory's correct, if my memory's correct.
And I guess we have to work a little bit as to find a way to spend it, so properly spend it. All right. Eric.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you all knew that our school has the t-shirt business. So I don't know if that could be incorporated into the, drug awareness. Maybe they could print t-shirts or, support that way just as an option.
That's something to check and see, because, we thought for a while we could use it for internal drug testing, but we can't use it for internal drug testing, so we've got to find a way. We're still looking at that, we're still learning as to how we can spend the money properly. And
Just an
that's
option.
just as well as anything else, if we'll work with the school. Looks like the best course will be to work with the school. Is there anything else come before the meeting?
Well, I'd like to thank the chief for that, catching that criminal so quickly, because he was on 9 and Lori Street. Yeah.
That was the one
Yeah,
with
we
the-
were involved in
he
the
was-
ring and the
he
event.
was shirtless, carrying jumper cables and a hatchet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and when you texted me, I was in church and I just started giggling, Joseph. I said, what's so funny?
Is there anything else come before the meeting? Anything else to come before the meeting? Having covered everything on the agenda, we are adjourned.
Hey Russ, what's being built in the park? That's in the middle there, looks like a foundation on it.